So at the end of July, I had an important choice to make. Get a real job, or travel to Seattle to make a YouTube video about it. You already know where this is going.
Come on, Seattle!
So today we're going to visit 7 locations in Seattle to learn just what the city is all about. And we're going to rank all of them, and then the winner will receive a prize for being a good boy. Why did I say that? Seattle is the biggest city in the US state of Washington, named after the legendary George Washington laundry shop in George, South Africa. Although I couldn't actually verify if this was true or not. The reason Seattle exists is because in 1851, this dude wanted to get rich. So naturally, he went to the middle of the forest on the other side of the continent. And it worked. The original Seattle sold a bunch of lumber, then a bunch of people moved there to sell lumber, then World War II happened, and then they invented Starbucks. Anyway, we start off our tour in the Fremont neighborhood of northern Seattle. It might seem like a weird place to start off a tour of Seattle, but it's because the hostel I wanted to book was fully booked for the first night, and the second cheapest place was in Fremont. So if you could, please go write a negative Google review for the Instead, I had to stay in a budget motel next to a highway. In true American freedom-loving fashion. It was okay though. I could see Mount Rainier from the parking lot, which is this really big and important mountain in the region that I won't mention again in this video. And I also had this window in my room. I don't know why I decided to film this. Now, Fremont itself, as an area, is pretty cool. It's a typical American suburb, but hey, that's pretty cool. The area is very chill and quiet, and none of the locals question why there's some random dude filming a fucking residential suburb. Now, here's a fun fact about Fremont. It's actually quite famous for its art scene. Like, they have a bunch of shit. Like this lady here, these gnarly paintings, but most famously, they have this troll crushing this car. It was sculpted in 1990 by these 4 artists, and it was inspired by Scandinavian folklore. I didn't know they had Volkswagen Beetles in Scandinavian folklore, but you learn something new every day. The troll is under this bridge, so now you know where to find it. Now, they also have this dude. The reason they have a Lenin statue in Fremont is that in 1991, the Soviet Union went kablooey, and as a result, all of these countries, and in this case this one, decided to get rid of nearly all of their Soviet-era propaganda monuments. However, in 1993, it was bought off a scrapyard by an art-loving American who brought it to Washington, and it has been displayed by a private trust in this location since 1995. Anyway, Fremont is also located on the shore of Lake Union, so I decided to go there next. Here you can get some pretty sick views of the Seattle skyline. The best thing about this place is that you can look at a different place. Anyway, Fremont is pretty cool, 7 out of 10. No, 8 out of 10, they had squirrels. Next on my grand tour of Seattle, I decided to head downtown. Yes, I took a bus in America, it's not that weird. Now we're downtown. And in typical American fashion, it's filled with skyscrapers. Now, surprisingly, there wasn't much traffic, even though the city has more people than the entire country of Latvia. But on the other hand, there wasn't much of anything here. Now, I was here on a random Saturday morning in August, and basically all of these buildings are office buildings, so I don't know what I was expecting. Instead, I just stood there staring at how tall these skyscrapers were. Okay, never mind, I got bored. Downtown, 6 out of 10. It doesn't have squirrels. Next on my places to visit was the waterfront. This place is where all the fun happens. They have a fun wheel. Ferry wheel? What is it called? They have a bunch of boats you can take and check out the sick bay they have. You can go to some cool restaurants. I didn't do any of this though, because I didn't have money. I saw this thing though. This is free. I also listened to some sick jams. Now, the waterfront is also home to the famous Pike Place Market. Opened in 1907, this iconic American landmark is one of the oldest continuously operated farmers markets in the United States. So have that, Eiffel Tower. I also went inside and filmed these clips. I went all the way to America to do this. The Pike Place Market is also the location of the first Starbucks in the world. Now, this place is fun because here you can wait in line for 4 hours to get the same drinks you can get in every other store. Waterfront, 7 out of 10. I didn't have money to do anything. Next place I wanted to visit was the Belltown neighborhood. Well, actually the next place I wanted to visit was the Space Needle, but this was just kinda in the way. But I was kinda in luck, because Belltown is often considered one of the most walkable neighborhoods in America, which I don't really get. You can walk anywhere, mate. Like, for example, you can walk in LA if you want to die. This place is pretty cool. They have a Starbucks that you can get into in less than 5 business days. Belltown, 5 out of 10, no poo-poos or pee-pees. Now we have finally arrived to perhaps the most iconic landmark in the whole city, known throughout the world, wait, what are you doing? Go back up. The Space Okay, fuck this. Now I could have gone up to the top for some panoramic views, but it cost $80, so, I didn't. Now the area around the tower is called the Seattle Center, which is a bit pretentious if you ask me, but it's actually a pretty nice park area. They have a fountain, they have artsy stuff, and they have this museum building that they made look funky, because they're freaky like that. Seattle Center, 4 out of 10. I didn't go up to the Space Needle. Now you might say this is a bit unfair, so shut up. Now there was a different viewpoint in the city where you could get pretty much the same view as the Space Needle, and this one was free. Welcome to Kerry Park. This is the true viewpoint of the people, and I have always been a true champion of everyday Seattleites. Yeah, the views from up here are pretty sick. You can even see the Space Needle from up here. Bet you can't see that in the Space Needle. Kerry Park, 9 out of 10, a totally unbiased review. Next, I took a bus ride across town, which took 2 hours because the bus was 40 minutes late. In Europe, this would have been a war crime. The last spot on our city tour is the Seattle Chinatown or International District. So, which one is it? I thought this was Google Maps, not a multiple choice quiz. This place is quirky because it's got its signs in both English and Chinese. They have a bunch of Far East Asian stuff, like this thing, this other thing, and this one also, maybe. And like, they have dragons and shit. I also had some good fried chicken here. I didn't film it, but I just wanted you to know. They also have this place, where this iconic moment in history happened.
Fight and win! Come on, Seattle!
But is Seattle Chinatown International District a place where I had chicken once going to beat Kerry Park for the top spot in the city? No. And as a prize, Kerry Park gets this beautiful painting I made in paint. If you're interested in visiting Seattle, this was the wrong video to watch. But if you want to check out other fun videos about the world and cities and stuff, you can check out this video about a fun fact about every single city in Germany. Also, leave a like and a comment and buy my mug.